Here is a Game Master tip. There is a way to get your players to keep coming back week after week. I know you modern day Game Masters, many of you will use WotC D&D, and you'll use things like perception checks and other type of dice rolls that allow the player characters to bypass certain things and move on really fast. Well, this tip that I'm giving you is coming from an old school Game Master. And let me tell you a secret that I know that you don't know. You know, if you can make your game feel like a grind, and you mentally drain your players by the end of any night they play, make sure, they have their opportunities to role play and have fun, but drain them by skipping things like these dice rolls, like perception checks, and any other dice roll that just lets them move on really fast, or find the thing really fast, or notice the thing really fast. If you make players have to go through every inch of your game in a manual way, you drain them. And I can't explain to you why this will bring back players to your table, but I've never seen players easily, I'm not saying they haven't, but easily walk away from a very fun, but very mentally draining game. Look, I'm not saying that you go extreme. That's not what I mean. Like, look, you can skip certain time. You can move on to the next scene. You can do all that, right? But slow your game down. Make your players have to, look through the room, check out the area. You know what I mean? They have to manually say what they're going to do, right? And just get used to giving them any basic description of a room they're going into. Like, they need to know where the desk is, the table, the bed, whatever. Okay, you tell them. If there's a piece of art up on the wall, you tell them. You tell them what wall. It's not hard. This is basic detail stuff. And what you're going to do is make them go through your game in many ways just in this grind fest. And that's okay. The game should feel like a grind fest. I mean, what games outside of tabletop role-playing games don't feel like you're grinding somewhat, right? There is a grind. You learn to have fun in it, but it's a grind. It's all part of the game. Well, to me, I feel like some games I've seen or experienced in my life from people running them is it doesn't feel like that grind, and sometimes that feels like it's missing. And when I started bringing that grind to my game, I noticed right away it made people keep coming back. But I get it. You have the new WotC game now, and that has all these dice rolls. So it's like, well, Steven, what am I supposed to fucking do? I don't know. Host rule and hope you get lucky, because there's a lot of 5e players that will not accept a major change like that. So you could upset some of your current players if you have players, and you could possibly upset quite a few people that you could potentially recruit. So I have to be honest with you, it's a hit that you probably have to take, or no, not probably, you will have to take, but there's not much I can tell you beyond that. Like, there's no secret, I think, as far as the grind that I'm talking about, where you can achieve it with that stuff, right? And I also think you got to be careful with what kind of grind they're going through. It's a mind game. That's why I think the mental grind is good, of getting them to manually do stuff. But there's other forms of grinding in a game that are negative, and the experience can suck, and people don't want to be there doing that. It could be really slow because the game master is slow, right? It could be unnecessary slowness because certain players are disagreeing. Like, there's all kinds of ways to turn the game into a grind that is not good, right? But when it's all about playing the game, and the only reason the grind is happening is because people are busy playing the game, well, that's a good thing. They're playing. They're not arguing. There's not these negative reasons for the grind. It's a positive reason. They're playing the game and going through the area. That's all it is. And by the end of the night, they're drained. Like, they gave it, their all, and you see them next week. Either way, look, if you can bring this grind aspect to your game, right, you can you can achieve great things. Look, it slows down the experience overall, and as long as you don't got petty players and they're busy playing the game, it just means a lot more is going to happen in a scene instead of a lot of bypassing stuff, right? And in my opinion, you're also bypassing opportunities to role play, for players to interact, and to keep the minds in the imagination and going, because when you get to a tough spot with player characters, maybe a boss fight or whatever, it is better for players to be warmed up, right? To have already been thinking and going and on the grind, because the grind, no matter how tired they are, if they hit the hot spot, trust me, you'll see the payoff, right? Because the grind also keeps them hot, even close to the end of the session. It is, if they understand how active the situation is, they can wake up. The best part is they're mentally ready. And if you catch them in the middle of a session with the grind going on, they're okay. That's even better. Like, it's, again, they're active, they're mentally active, they're ready to think, they've been thinking, right? But if you shut down their mind by, letting them bypass, many areas where you're just skipping opportunities to role play and, interaction and everything else, well, yeah, you're going to miss out on a lot. Anyway, for now, take care.